I would encourage you to grab that sheet from back table when you leave. It lists some good national candidates. I've listed a few of them here. Also, there's a couple. I've mentioned Teresa Woods here. I would encourage you to check out that information. You know, it is so critical what Karen said, to spend $5, $10, $20, $25, whatever you can do, to donate that to some of these campaigns. You all probably saw that some of the record fundraising that occurred in the last couple of weeks over this last quarter with some major conservative candidates blowing away records in terms of tens of millions of dollars that were raised. And that happened based on $5, $10, $15, $25 type of donations. And so it doesn't have to be a lot, but it can all accumulate to a lot. And in my opinion, that's the way that campaigns should be funded, through small grassroots individual donations, not large PAC type money. So I trust you'll consider that. Now also, as we're talking about funds, I've asked Brendan Jennings, who is the treasurer for the Chattanooga Tea Party. Quarterly, we generally like to update our membership as to where we stand with our finances. The Chattanooga Tea Party is a 501c4 organization, so it's a not-for-profit organization, as Karen has already alluded to. So Brendan's going to take just a minute to share some information with you.
Thanks, Mark. And boy, we really do our best to adhere to that not-for-profit. We are standing right now in a approximately $800 hole, all told over from day one when we started back before the Tax Day Tea Party last year to the current day. So for anybody who thinks that anybody's making any money off of the Tea Party, I mean, most of our income comes from events like this, monthly meetings, your generous donations here, and at other events such as the Tax Day Tea Party, such as the debates that we had last weekend. And as you well know, because you are all the donors that we depend on, those donations largely are in pretty small denominations. And what we have in the hole is basically considered a loan that individuals go into their own pocket to pay for things. So again, your donations are appreciated. Just to give you an idea of where we stand this year compared to last year, this year our income is just about $16,000, whereas all of last year, and that's up to this point, all of last year our income was about $15,555. But keep in mind that almost $10,000 of the income that we had last year was just a pass-through for the 912 busing and trip that we helped facilitate. So who all went to 912? So you all know that was pretty much a pass-through. What is a little bit different this year is we've got double the donations. Last year we had 10,000 in donations. I mean 5,000 in donations, 5,700. This year it's 10,390. But what we didn't have last year that we have this year is Karen Chastain's clothing line that you see back there. It's almost ready for designer label, I think. So if anybody wants to take a look at the balance sheet, I've got plenty of copies back here to accommodate you. If we happen to run out, we can certainly run off more copies. But this pretty much gives you the rundown right here. And if you have any questions, please see me after the meeting. Thank you very much.
Some of our friends in the media would say, well, you guys are making it such fine print we can't even read it. But Brendan does have copies for you if you'd like to take one and study a little further and have any questions. Okay, we want to talk just a minute about some upcoming events. How many of you are familiar with the Nullify Now event? Anyone? Okay, anyone going to the Nullify Now event? We have one of our members, Greg Juster, who will be actually part of a panel at the event, and that is this coming Saturday, the 23rd, from 12 to 6. Doors open at 11. You can read all the information here. It's at the Convention Center. A lot of good speakers, to be honest with you. You can go to nullifynow.com to get that information. Tickets are pretty inexpensive. I know they've got about 300 people so far that are registered and coming as of last week, so it'd be a pretty good crowd. Very informative, so I would encourage you to consider going to that. Also, Tony Kubik is going to come up and share with you real quickly about an event that he is wants to promote here.
Thank you, Mark. Good evening. This is a nice turnout, a lot of folks here. I've got just a couple of things I want to promote tonight, so I'll get right to it. The first is Dalton, Georgia. The Tea Party in Dalton, Georgia is sponsoring a Veterans Day Parade. And they will have quite a few of the Northern Georgia Tea Party groups there in the parade. Anyone interested in attending that, I didn't write the date down, but I think Veterans Day is the 13th. Yeah. There we go. And it starts at 10 o'clock. I'm going to have a sign-up sheet back here at the back table, and I'll be back there. If you're interested in going, get signed up, because I'll be coordinating that event. Right now it's just me. The second thing is Election Day voting centers. And this is something that I feel is very important. I feel we must help Savas win in Congress and go to Congress. And what I've dedicated myself to do the day of voting is to take a sign there that reads, "The leadership of the Chattanooga Tea Party endorse Savas." And the reason I'm going to do that is because I've heard a statistic that about 25% of the people that vote make up their mind on their way from the car into the voting place. And I think that could be a very powerful tool that we could use if you'd like to help me with this at your voting center. Mine's in Bakewell, Tennessee, and we're all over, so we need lots of people to volunteer to do that. Yes, sir.
Question about the leadership endorse Savas. I'm a Savas person who's very impressed with his presentation. But did I hear you right? The Tea Party, Chattanooga Tea Party leadership made this endorsement?
The leadership.
Based on, do you have a consensus of any kind?
Yes.
From the
Well, if we can talk about that and then it is on the agenda, so we can come back to that in just a minute.
Thank you. Good question. Also, I'll have a sign-up sheet back there for that if you want to do that at your voting center. And there's something else on the exhibit, I can't think of it. All those events will be coordinated through me too. So make sure you get my phone number. I have some cards back there. Yes, Greg.
Are you going to have signs already pre-made?
Well, that's one of the things we got to get worked out. I'm not going to make 100 signs ahead of time and not have to use that many. So once we get the number of people that we got, then we'll get going on the signs and get that taken care of. Thanks. Good. All right, that's it. Thank you, Mark.